First of all, we have to be clear on what is emerging market. It's a very generic word. Us at Greenwich, we define emerging market as a country where it's difficult to make business, whether for political reasons, administrative reasons, or security reasons. So once we have said that, we are looking at macroeconomic indicators, which is size of the market, so population, current level of GDP, and its forecasts for the next 5 years. We look at public debt, and especially the part owned by foreign investors. And we are also looking at reserve in foreign currencies. So once you have said that, I think, looking at LATAM, you've got obviously Brazil as a big country, but also a very interesting case in Chile or Uruguay, smaller country, but high GDP and or interesting growth forecast. In Africa, you've got a country going from Mozambique, Ghana is a very interesting example. I would look at Guinea Equatorial or Angola. In emerging Asia, really putting aside China, I would say Indonesia is a great case to look at, or Vietnam. And in the Middle East, we'd be looking at Kuwait, Qatar as a good and interesting market to look at and to consider. Okay, so in the emerging market, you still have a large portion of the population who is unequipped. So as this is a B2C market, a pull market, you need to look at first, your brand. So how you position, how you communicate around your brand and your offer. I would look at pricing. So you have now a new pricing plan around flat rate. So whether it's a day flat rate, a monthly flat rate, around unlimited usage. Maybe also on community-based usage, where you have among the group lower rate. I also would look at the way your distribution network on the recharge is structured, making sure it's very, very capillary. Then there is a big business which is booming right now, which is mobile broadband. So we see that there is an acceleration of broadband delivered on mobile network, because the fixed infrastructure is, in most of the cases, has been destroyed or is not operating. And then, still on the broadband, but on the fixed, I would think of geolocalized approach, making sure that I'm targeting the high affluent neighbors and offering high-speed internet and potentially content over the access. And those are the people that can pay, above $100 a month of fees. But overall, in a more holistic approach, we come to understand that the operators in those markets have really a position and brand in the market, which give them the right to look at adjacent business, adjacent to telecommunication. So we've seen a good example in financial services in Kenya and in other parts of the world. I think that they have also a right to be present in the content parts, or whether we're talking about media and portal, and also looking at aspect around education and on security. So all those adjacent business where they get a credible brand, a credible reputation, and really can look at those markets as great opportunities. I think they can leverage, especially, let's say, what I would call functional expertise. So, expertise in marketing, in sales, distribution, for example, because those markets still, you have to understand that they have their own characteristics. So you're talking about a market where, sometimes more than 50% of the population is making less than $2 a day. So those are completely different reality. They have a view which is by the day, so they cannot plan by the week. So we cannot really apply techniques or approach which have been successful in mature market directly to the emerging market. So that's why I think we can really leverage on functional expertise, but really to look at what's the true reality of the market. And a very good example is churn. So in churn, we can apply the techniques and the approach which have been developed and implemented in the mature market for the last 10 to 15 years, but understand that in emerging market, the first difficulty that we'll face is access to information. So the CDR have not that rich, so they have reduced information, which obliges you to develop a 360-degree approach, talk to the different functional departments in order to have a holistic view on the customer database. So once you have this information, then yes, you can start segmenting your customer database, understanding the pattern, which are predictive of a churn attitude, and then develop the appropriate campaign to retain or even to stimulate the usage of your particular client. And I would say that also us at Greenwich, we are applying this approach, but we believe that the churn can be better fight if each function of the operators is concerned and dedicated to a very good service to the customer. So it starts with how the people are treated at the customer service, how easy it is to activate their SIM card, how good the sales people in the shop can answer their questions. You know, how long is the queue at the point of sale? So all this participate in building or fighting churn within one customer base.